Locker Room Report. I'm Jen Gopel, sitting alongside head coach Paul Winters. Coach, tough loss this weekend up at Northern Michigan, but discuss kind of the lessons that were learned from it.
That's a great question. We learned quite a few lessons. I think you start off with offensively. We had a good week of practice, and I mean, it was a spirited effort, great effort practice. And I think offensively, we finally kind of got back on track and played well. I think defensively, especially our secondary, didn't have a great week of practice and didn't have the concentration and effort and practice that we needed to have, and we didn't have a great game. So I think that that's a lesson that everyone should continue to learn. From a standpoint of what happened during the game, we went out and as a football team played extremely well for pretty much a quarter and a half, and then I think our legs just, we lost them. And that sounds like an excuse. I mean, we just didn't play very well at that point in the game. We're up 23-10 and kind of fall apart. You know, it's hard to explain things like that.
Despite the loss, Mike Johnson did have a career high of 116, or a game high of 116 receiving yards against the Wildcat. How did this performance, alongside Desmond Martin's, keep the Warriors hold the lead for a majority of the game? Well,
I think, again, like I said, the offense, we had a good week of practice, and Mike Johnson had a really good week, and Des had a really good week, and they were executing very well during the game. I think we kind of got away from that at the end, and that's one of the reasons we weren't able to keep our lead. I think if we can get those two guys the ball, we can always have success.
The defense was able to shut down their running attack, and talk about how that kept you guys in the lead for a majority of the game.
Well, the defense struggled at first. I mean, they had 2 long runs to start the game, and after that, they probably had 20 yards altogether. So our guys up front, I think our interior guys did an outstanding job, and I think they spread us out really well, but our linebackers, especially Anthony Demos, stepped in and stepped up and really did a great job of shutting down their run game.
Going back to the defense, last week the Warriors gave up a kickoff return, and this week you guys are going up against Jamaris Brown, who is currently leading the conference in kickoff returns. What did we learn from last week to prevent it from happening this week?
We learned that you have to stay in your lanes. We had a guy step out of his lane, and that's where they attacked, and they got the big one. The other one, we actually had the perfect situation. We had them in an onside look, and we kicked it deep. We had the guy pinned, should have tackled him on the 10-yard line, and we had like 5 missed tackles right at the 10-yard line. And you know, I give the guy credit; he's really good, but you can't miss tackles. You have 1 guy miss, but you don't have 5 guys miss. So we just rally to the football, play football. I mean, you know, it's not really a secret or it's not rocket science. You have to play solid football. You have to hit, tackle, block, do the basic things that you had to do 30 years ago in football. And we didn't do that at critical times. And, you know, that's a little frustrating.
You guys have never played Walsh before. This is the first time in the program's history. Talk about what it's going to take for the Warriors to get the win at home.
Well, I think being at home helps us because our home crowd has been outstanding. Our guys play well in front of our fans and our students. And I think from an offensive and defensive and special team standpoint, we have to just play solid football. I think Walsh is a good football team. They're explosive in a lot of ways. We just have to rally to the football on defense and then special teams. And then offensively, we've got to put it in the end zone.
All right, Coach. Best of luck against Walsh. This has been the Locker Room Report. I'm Jen Goldthal. You've been listening to The Patriot on 1400 AM, 92.7 FM.